This is really exciting. We are starting in with day one of the Calm, Confident Parenting Workshop, and I'm so excited to see you. I hope, friend, that this is a positive experience where you get to discover that parenting does not have to be harder. You can do it smarter. You can do this like super easily, friend. That parenting doesn't have to feel like you're just constantly battling a sibling rivalry, the kid's not listening, that you're in this cycle where you're like calm, calm, nice, and then you blow up. And let me tell you, friend, this workshop is not the old school mentality of somehow I'm just going to tell you to be more patient and you just need to, take a breath. This is so much more deep and profound and also really simple. The tools I'm going to give you in these 3 days are meant to dramatically transform how you're feeling as a parent. So I want to know who is here. I know we have over 50 people signed up between Instagram Live and those watching here in Facebook. So put a comment below of how you're feeling about being here. Some sort of emoji, a smile, something. We are so, so glad you're here. This is one of my favorite places because we get to give you tools. And there's 3 things that I really love about being in this space with you. In this space, I often know that the person on the other side of this camera is here for 3 key reasons, or 3 key things are likely true about you. First of all, I bet what's true about you is that you care deeply about parenting well. That you are here because parenting really, really matters to you, and your kids really, really matter to you, and that you want to be in a space where you are giving them the best possible start at life, that you care about helping them know how to learn to manage their emotions, that you care about them having positive sibling relationships, that you probably care about them being raised differently than you were raised. Is that true? Give me a yes. Tell me if there's a word or a phrase there that really connected with what you care most about or care deeply about with your children. Yeah. So, friend, I'm so glad that you're sharing all these things. I see you, JC. I see you, Lauren. I see you, Besson. So glad you're all here. And second thing I bet is true for you is that you are here because things are not going how you thought they would. I mean, I did a survey over the weekend of what types of challenges were parents facing the most. Lauren battling over getting out the door. Holly regulating emotions. It's just constantly draining. Chelsea, gosh, controlling my anger. Mandy, just breaking that cycle of challenges. Richard, Lindsay, transitions. You shared so many things, others with sibling fighting. Blake said, my son doesn't listen. I bet you're here because of one of those reasons. It's not been going how you wished it would, and you are not alone. That's the biggest, false thing out there. We see all of this, Instagram happy families that look perfect and filtered. Friend, I'm here to tell you we're all struggling in one way or another. And in this space, we're going to give you solutions. So you're in the right place. Third of all, and I want to say, as people are writing their comments, Lauren hoping to find some balance, Kyra, focusing on changing the way she grew up, Jessica saying hello. Give a comment, give a like to someone else that makes a comment here so that you can be supporting them, saying, you're not alone. I feel that too. Something I love to do most in sustainable parenting is help all of us to know we're not in this alone and that together we can get to a better place. We can help each other. Reason number 3, I bet you're here, is that you're someone who is ready for change. You came here because you're like, I'm ready to do this. And let me tell you, friend, this 3 days has the power to dramatically change how you feel as a parent. I know that feels like a kind of inflated statement, but I mean it because parent after parent has told me that when they came all 3 days, it took them in a journey of realizing things they wanted to change and then having some really solid new tools and a solid new pathway of how to make that change. So if you're here because you're ready to do things like smarter, not harder, get to that change fast, not to just keep, being lost or feeling confused, you're ready to just feel focused, calm, and confident, say, I'm ready. And in that writing, I want you to make that commitment to yourself. You're really going to show up today, tomorrow, and the next day, either live or at least catching the replay, setting an appointment in your phone to catch the replay so that you make that change. That this is not just one more kind of thing you check out, but something that really is the pivotal change in you feeling like the calm, confident parent you always wanted to be. Lauren is ready. Kimberly's here. Kyra is here. Yes, Tony is here. So glad that you're here. So let's dive in. I'm going to give you a tool at the end of today's session that is one of the first, most powerful ways to dramatically change an upset child in 30 seconds or less. So make sure you stay to the end of this short 25 to 30 minute session. First, I want to tell you my most embarrassing moment as a parent. One of them. I've had several, can't even dive into all of them. But this one stands out to me because it exhibits the key errors. I was making all of the mistakes that were keeping me in cycles of struggle without even realizing it. And it was just so hard. So let me share it with you. I can picture it like I'm there right now. I'm there with 4.5-year-old Caleb, and we are starting swim lessons. And it's in this place where it's like a square where all of the moms kind of stand or sit behind where the kids are getting into the pool. I knew my son was slow to warm up to new things, so I tried to prep him really nicely for this experience. Like, okay, buddy, this is going to be awesome. You love being in the water. This is going to be your chance to learn how to swim on your own. This is so exciting. We've done some classes together. Now this is your chance to do big boy stuff. I was prepping it up. I was saying all the positives. I even got in the water with him a little bit to help him adjust to the moment. And then all of the other people were coming. The teacher came. It was time for me to get out. I said, Caleb, I got to go. And he said, and like that, it's like the ball dropped. He's clinging to me. He's grabbing. He's sobbing. No. And I swear as I look around, it's like he's the only child in this pool of like 40 to 50 kids with 40 to 50 moms and dads around them freaking out like this. And it's so frustrating. I'm like, oh, okay, Caleb, you can do this. I try some encouragement, but the more he's pulling at my swimsuit, he's clawing my skin, he's screaming in my ear, my nervous system just gets overwhelmed, and I start bouncing to why do you have to make this so hard? This is not a big deal. Everyone else is having fun. Why can't you just enjoy this? You're going to be fine. Kind of, then I feel bad and I go back over to consoling him and trying to just see if there's any way that I can get him to know it's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And eventually I'm just like, why? And I just struggled through, and it never got better. He cried that entire class, and I was so embarrassed and mortified and frustrated and angry and all the things. Why couldn't he just listen? Why did he have to be so emotional? Why did he have to make these things so difficult? Have you been there? If you have, friend, you are not alone. And you probably making the 3 top errors that I was making in that point of parenting that we are going to fix right now. The first error is that I was neck up parenting. The second error is that I was pinball parenting. And the third error is I was asking the wrong questions. Let's get into this. The first error was that I was totally what I do call now neck up parenting. I was getting cerebral. Here my kid was freaking out, what we call flipped lid. We know from science that the brain is like has this rational place, emotional place, and then full flipped lid, fight, flight, freeze. And he was here, and I was trying to come in here with all this reasoning, neck up, logic, explaining, trying to talk him out of it. And guess what? This brain talking to this brain doesn't work. Will you say the words like, oh yeah, doesn't work, if you realize, yeah, I've totally been there. It doesn't work. It doesn't work to try to come in with all this reasoning, rationalizing when a child is in a flipped lid. And maybe you feel at a loss, like, but I don't know what else to do because when he flips his lid, it kind of flips my lid. And then I'm just kind of panicking and grabbing at straws and what to say, just want it to stop. I mean, my own nervous system is freaking out. That's the first problem we solve in sustainable parenting. We move from this process of what I call like the cuckoo cycle, that we think our only options are commands, neck up, talking, or consequences. Again, neck up, sort of talking and explaining it. The cuckoo cycle, command, consequence, to what I've developed as the CEO model that solves virtually every parenting problem. And we're going to give you a tool from that first CEO process at the very end. The first error is neck up parenting. You may be seeing yourself in cycles of struggle because you keep talking to them in moments where they need help regulating. And we give you the tools to do that in the right time, in the right way. It makes me think of Brittany, a client who said, man, I remember I was just so angry all the time. My buttons would get so pushed so easily, and it blocked me from connecting to my child, honestly. And even when I started working with you, Flora, I thought maybe I'm just too angry of a person for things to go ever different in those moments. But I'm happy to say that it's been such a relief to see with the CEO tools, I can do this. Error number 2 that might be getting in your way, keeping you in cycles of struggle, is pinball parenting. Boy, was I stuck there with Caleb, and I have many parents share that they realize this is where they are too, is kind of going from like gentle mom, kindly asking what you want, to monster mom, like I'm just gonna take this away, like get it together, freaking out at them, yelling at them, and then feeling bad about that and bouncing back over to gentle mom. Like one day, like Sean, a dad who I worked with, he's like, the kids never knew if I was gonna ask nicely or like freak out and just be canceling Christmas, canceling birthday parties. I was so unpredictable. Like I didn't have a plan. So when they wouldn't listen to my nice request, I'd just blow up and start taking things away here, there, a week of TV. And so of course it was confusing to the kids. And there was a mixed bag of that. I never felt a sense of control most of the time in that pinball cycle. And the kids didn't take me seriously because of that pinball cycle. Has that been you? Put the word pinball if you realize that it's hard. I've seen that. Yeah. And the third key error is that you might be asking the wrong questions. The wrong question, which I was totally, again, asking to Caleb in this moment, thinking it was make things better, was like, why are you doing this? And do you find yourself that way, friend? saying to your kids, why are you so difficult? Why did you hit your brother? Why can't you just get your shoes on? Why? And they look at you like a deer in the headlights. They're like, I don't know. Or they just honestly don't know. Maybe they just ignore you, or they say something like, did you know that dinosaurs have 75 teeth? And you're like, why? Would you put the word why if that's something that you have fallen into that's like, yes, I could relate to that. So frustrating. Yeah, Besson says, oh, yeah. Here's the thing, the right question to ask is, what am I going to do about it? Not why did you hit your brother? Why do you not get dressed in the morning? But, what's the lagging skill going on for my kid? I mean, gosh, they did just land on the planet 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 9 years ago. Do they know how else to solve a problem with their sibling? Do they know a plan for how to self-soothe when I'm leaving him in the pool? Do they know what our expectations are in the morning? Have we made a morning routine chart? What have I been missing that might be a lagging skill? Or is this something where I need to change my response because it's working for them? Meaning, it's not why did you do that, but of course you did that. Last time you started screaming in the store, I did give you the candy bar and said like, but next time you need to blah, 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 blah. But of course that didn't change. You got the candy bar, so of course you are screaming. So what I need to do differently is have a plan consistently for what I'm going to do if you start screaming. So changing the why are you doing this into what am I going to do about it? And it makes me think of my amazing client, Molly, who said, one of the best things is I'm enjoying better bedtimes. I used to have this like sense of panic, this low grade panic as we were leading up to bedtime, because I was just like predicting there'd probably be a blow up. And every single night at like 6:45, it would creep in. And now it's just the most amazing feeling to feel calm, to feel a sense of control, because our plan is working. And if you're not sure what that plan would be of how do I do the what instead of the why, that's the next step we're going to be digging into tomorrow. But let me back up. Before I leave you today, I want to leave you with this quick tool from the CEO model, which is the 30-second silent hug. That, friend, if you have been frustrated with neck up parenting, pinball parenting, or some version of asking the wrong questions, the first thing I want you to try out tonight from our CEO model, a freebie from our exclusive program, is when they are emotional, resistant, or defiant. I call it RED, resistant, emotional, defiant. That's how I can remember it. I want you to step into, come here for a second. Give a 30-second silent hug, meaning you're not lecturing, talking, saying, what do you feel? Why are you feeling that? Why did you do that? Just hug. And then address the problem. It's a key tool for connecting before correcting that can really bring that brain down to here so they can hear you. And do come back with us tomorrow, because I can't wait to give you super powerful tools that are going to get more cooperation and give you a way to unlock less anger. Friends, such an honor to be with you today, and we'll see you again tomorrow.